Welcome back, Captains, to another Infinite Galaxy video. This is Dragothien here, and today we're going to be going over how to actually help yourself. Let's help ourselves here. We need to be able to get more resources. You only have a certain amount of ships at the beginning of the game, and it's slow going with getting enough warships inside of your marches or inside of your fleets to be consistently farming a good amount of resources. So what you need to do is you need to figure out a way to double that up or triple that up or quadruple that up. And in other games, there's what's called a farm account where you just transfer your resources and everything is right with the world. Well, let me show you what happens when you try and click another one of your alliance mates' cities or spaceports, I should say. There is no... There's somebody burning right there. There is no transfer button. There's no way to exchange resources, send anybody anything. So I was like, well, dang, that means there's no farm accounts. Wrong. So let's go back to my spaceport here and let me show you what I'm talking about. So I was trying to be creative on what I can do to really just have more resources coming in. And the first thing I thought of was, well, there's a storage center, which is basically your warehouse for protected resources in your account. So at all times, as this is leveling up here, right now actually, I have 800,000 titanium and deuterium protected at all times. I've got 160,000 nickel steel protected at all times, and then 80,000 plasma whenever I actually get to the point where I can unlock plasma as a resource, which is decently far into the game, guys. It's not easy to unlock that right off the bat unless you're really powering up. So what do you do, right? What do you do to make a farm account without really there being a way to transfer resources? Well, what you need to do is make another account, and I'm going to show you what I mean here. And really, what I showed you earlier was a prime example. What you need to do is make another account, and that's not what I wanted to do. You make another account and level it up, but try not to level up the storage center as much as possible. It's going to make you level it up at some point as you progress, but try and make it to where you don't have to necessarily level it up very much. And for instance, this guy down here, this silver toss guy down here, instead of being able to transfer, you just attack your own city. Just make sure they're not in the same alliance, because you can't attack your own alliance mates, but you attack your farm account. And obviously you want to not have any dead troops on both sides, right? You don't want to waste troops just to get resources. So what you do is you do what I just did. Right now I'm farming planets, but what this means is you can remove all the troops from your city, and that way whenever you attack, the only thing you really got to go through is a defense platform, which again, you don't have to level up at all, really. This is something that's completely autonomous from your progression as a spaceport, because at least right now it is anyway, because it requires research. So unless you do that research, which is in the command tree, you don't necessarily have to unlock all these different defense platforms, and really you don't even have to level it up very much at all, unless that's a criteria for future researches and future add-ons to the command here. But at the end of the day, this is a farm account. You don't need to necessarily rank up everything. You just need to get a bunch of ships and go into your research and level up your resource production, or your resource tech tree, so that you can start unlocking titanium, deuterium, nickel steel to be able to farm those things. So that's the way you actually make a farm account. And you can do this with as many accounts as you want. You just got to make sure you're continually sending them out. Now, there's different ways to also farm in this game. If we go to the star system, we go to our radar over here, you've got the different nodes like these. And the higher level system you go to, the higher these nodes are. So that means there's more resources at those locations. And some systems don't have particular resources. So you may want to spread your farm accounts out to a system that's got a lot of nickel steel, one system that's got a lot of deuterium, one system that's got a lot of titanium, etc., etc. But then you've also got planets, and that's something else that you can level up from the tech perspective. Like right now, I'm gathering from this planet, and I'm getting 140,000 titanium an hour, which is not bad at all comparatively to a node which might have 200,000 if you have a really high end one. So let's say, let's go for a level 6 here. This has, well, this one's been farmed a little bit and somebody left it unfarmed. How dare they? Let me click this one. See, this one's got almost 400,000 because it's level 6. But most of the ones that we've seen so far, because this is a higher end system, most of the ones we've seen so far have 250-ish or so maxed out. And this takes a couple hours to 3 hours to farm. So the 353, I can only imagine how long it's going to take to farm the entire thing. Maybe even closer to 4 hours with the tech that I've got right now. Whereas the tech that I've got right now for planets is relatively low too. But I'm basically getting a little bit better production than if I was to just mine. So the only caveat to this is, again, there is only a certain amount of planetary farming energy. So for instance, if I go over here, I hit gather, that's the plasma one. I can't do that one yet, like I was saying earlier. That's the other one I've got it at. Let's click this one. Okay, this is titanium. So right now, this would take me 25 seconds to get to. I've got 108 planet gather energy. This recharges throughout the day. But once you come down to 0, then you really only have the ability to go out and do regular node farming, which is fine. I just think the planetary, especially once you get all the tech researched up, I think the planet gathering just seems to be a little more efficient. But again, point of the video, this is how you go ahead and make farm accounts for yourself, because there's not really a system in the game to allow you to transfer resources. So this is really the only way that I've figured out how to get it done. So pretend this was my farm account right here. I would just attack it with my troops. I have a load of, oh, that's too high. That's way too high. Okay, this one's not too high. So pretend this is my account here. This would say my load. So right here, see, since I'm gathering, it's not going to tell me my load. But when you click your fleet, it'll tell you what your load is. And I think my load for this one's like 500,000 or 600,000 resources, which means every time I attack my farm city, I'll get 300,000 of titanium and deuterium, or I'll get 600,000 nickel steel, or whatever that is. And there is no loss for the transfer. There's no tax or anything like that. So this is the most efficient way that I'm aware of to go ahead and get this done. I hope this has really been helpful for you, because I was trying to figure out a way to do this, because resources in this game are not necessarily scarce, but the higher you get up, you need these resources. You need extra income coming in. And what we've done so far is going around the different star systems here in different sectors of the nebula that we're in, and just farming other alliances. Is what we've done. I probably can't zoom in on this one because I haven't scouted it yet. But there's other systems that have, people have their hives here, or they've got their alliances here, and this is a fighting game, guys. Another way to farm, obviously, is to farm other players' cities, and it's under the same umbrella of what I'm talking about. It's just that you didn't have to farm it; they had to farm it, and unfortunately for them, you're bigger than they are or whatever, and you can take their resources 100% all the way up to their storage center protection capacity. So if you, again, need more resources in this game, which everybody should if you're trying to level up your accounts, you should definitely look into making farm accounts where you don't level up the storage center as much as possible. You don't invest in any defense center technology, and all you're doing is making level 2 destroyers. That's the other thing that you need to understand. Let me go back here to my spaceport and show you. So here we've figured out that this is the best load amount for time spent gathering, or time spent building ships for gathering. So I originally was going level 1 here because 837 is the load count here, 492 is the load count here, and I think either one's perfectly fine, because these take about 30 minutes to make, the level 1s, and I think these take about 50 minutes. So I think it's a roughly even number, but I think the math that we did meant that the destroyer level 2, the tier 2 destroyer, was the best one to make. And just pump out a bunch of these level 2, tier 2 destroyers for your farming fleets, and then the only tech that you should be doing is trying to unlock more and more fleets available to you to use at one time, so you can be farming more for each account. Alternatively, again, if you don't want to worry about going through research on the resource, no, I'm sorry, command, resource command, this opens up, you need to unlock, to open up more fleets, you need to unlock, where's that? You know what, it's not command, it's development. I apologize. It's not that one. Get back. Where is it at? Is it in military? Was I wrong? Yep, there it is. Okay. So add expedition queue. Art of spaceship dispatch is what you want to level up. It's in the military system, which, you know, you should always be leveling up your military tech. But get to level 2, that means you have 3 total. And then I'm working my way over to the next one, which is over here, which is a long way away, but that's level 23 research center, and that takes a lot of resources, which is the whole purpose of this whole video to begin with. So maybe just getting it to, where's it at? This one. I don't recall the research center that you need for this. I want to say it's like 16 or 15 or 14 or something like that. So it's not too hard to get 3 fleets as far as expense goes, but after that it looks like it's going to start getting really expensive. So just make enough farm accounts for you to have 3 fleets each, and then again, as many farm accounts as you have and as much time as you have in this game to be able to continually resend out your fleets to be gathering resources. You can gather definitely millions and millions and millions of resources on each one of those farm accounts every single day. So that's my recommendation if you want to be able to really not have to necessarily spend so much into the game to get resources. There's some good deals, certainly. I mean, these limited time deals here are absolutely insane for how much you get for your money. But again, if you want to either completely replace that or augment that or supplement that with actual farming, this is the best way to do it, where you're farming 5 times as much instead of just the single spaceport amount that you have for your main account. So I hope this has been helpful. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one. Take care.